In a nation where energy challenges have long hindered industrial growth, innovation, and quality of life, the concept of state-owned electricity markets is sparking new conversations. Could this be the game changer for resolving the country's power sector inefficiencies? And more importantly, how can this strategy unlock the doors to sustainable economic growth, job creation, and improved living standards for millions of Nigerians? On this edition of Dateline 360, we will explore the opportunities, challenges, and potential impacts of this approach, speaking with experts and stakeholders to uncover how power could literally and figuratively drive the engine of the economy. I'm Ogochukwu Ona, and it's always a pleasure to have you join us. New opportunities, more prospects for the power sector as subnationals leverage the Electricity Act 2023 to create their electricity market, with more states getting approval from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity within their states. Joshua Ojito gives an overview and the future of the electricity market in the country as Nigeria strives to achieve adequate and reliable electricity supply.
The Electricity Act 2023, signed by President Bola Tinubu, and the amendment to the 1999 Constitution birthed a renewed hope for the power sector, with the market decentralized for subnationals to participate. By this, states can create their electricity market to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity to areas not covered by the national grid in their jurisdiction.
This has done two things. Number one, it has paved way for increased investments, for renewed interest in the power sector, and is no longer exclusive to the federal government alone. So that state governments can actually invest in the power sector value chain. And a lot of investments too are coming from the private sector because of this liberalization. And number two, this is bringing power sector down to the grassroots.
The Electricity Act 2023 provides that any state willing to establish its electricity market is to approach the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission with a request. So far, 10 states got approval of the regulator to establish their State Electricity Regulatory Commission with a sub-distribution company to be established to distribute electricity within the state. Although the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission still regulates interstate transmission of electricity to ensure coordination of the market. Also, all electrical equipment in the country are to be certified by the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, to ensure unification of standardization.
What is needed most in the power sector is investment to expand the networks, investment to rehabilitate the edge networks, investment to carry out regular maintenance of the networks, and so on and so forth. So this act has brought in this level of collaboration, because the state governments now are also involved. Individuals, investors can come in from anywhere to invest in the network. So this is actually one of the novel things that's provided by Mr. President in the power sector. Others, the Act also made it mandatory to have an integrated electricity policy for the nation.
With the subnationals leveraging opportunities in the electricity market, this is expected to reduce pressure on the national grid and open the market for investors to explore other sources of energy in the country to ensure availability of electricity nationwide. Joshua Ojito for Dateline 360.
Yes, Joshua, I particularly like the fact that it is expected to aid the reduction of pressure on the national grid, and the issue of collapse will be history. Now, residents of Oyo State say the actualization of policies and reforms on intrastate supply and distribution of electricity would not only help revive the small and medium businesses, but would go a long way to relieve the electricity markets and intermittent challenges of power supply in the country. Correspondent Rufia Animashao Badmus examines the status of the program in Oyo State.
Electricity is an important input to economic activities, and its consumption is considered to be central to economic growth. The persistent challenges of inadequate and unreliable electricity supply have hindered the optimal functioning of industries, impacting on their productivity and global competitiveness. Recently, Oyo State government inaugurated the first phase of an 11 megawatt independent power project in the state.
Not only will Oyo State be self-sufficient in generating its own power, we will also be exporting power.
Tariff modalities that were adopted provide for energy management and will actually feed into the larger tariff electricity regime that the state is embarking on.
There's even competition. Investors are encouraged to come in. It's not just IBDC now. Other players will be encouraged to come into the space.
The recent amendment to the Constitution that enables states to generate, distribute, and transmit electricity, business owners say should put an end to issues surrounding epileptic power supply. It is expected that Oyo State generation of independent power supply would enhance energy sufficiency, and this would revive small and medium businesses to boost the living condition of Nigerians.
Industrialists want power, residences want power. As long as they are available, we don't really care. As long as it is there and as long as it is affordable, people are ready to pay.
Because someone like me that you can see, I deal with printing here, and I have some machines that we're using. We are using computers and we're using a lot of things. We are not depending on electricity supply. We are locally generating our light through the inverter system.
There's power supply for 24 hours. The money spent on buying fuel will be reduced.
When there is light, we can't give customer high price. It's because there is no light and we are running diesel.
Nigerians, however, plead to the government to address increment in tariff, metering issues, and unestimated billing systems to give respite to residents.
The Lagos State electricity market is improving, and with the signing into law of the electricity bill in 2024, the state is working to provide affordable and sustainable electricity to consumers across the metropolis. Ometere Chedu in this report takes a look at the legal framework, the buying of critical stakeholders, and the prospects of job creation in the electricity market.
Sustainable development in cosmopolitan Lagos as a commercial nerve center of the country places a burden on the government to meet the growing energy demand for domestic consumption and drive industrialization. The enactment of the Electricity Act 2023 by President Bola Tinubu is a step in the right direction as it enables states to enact laws through their houses of assembly to regulate electricity market, create power stations for generation of electricity supply, transmission and distribution.
Lagos State has been in the forefront of the battle for the liberalization of the electricity market, and that battle has been won. The National Assembly passed the bill, and Lagos has now become one of the states to domesticate the bill.
That is it's a laudable innovation. It's good, and I think that is what we need now. That states should be able to own their own electricity, because so for Nigeria we have suffered a lot enough about persistent power failure.
With the creation of electricity market, Lagos State government is working with key stakeholders in the power sector to ensure alternative power generation is explored and seamlessly distributed and monitored.
Now, as many as possible people who have money to invest in that sector will come and invest. Experts from overseas, experts from Nigeria, they will come and invest in that sector and see that before you know it, in no time, Lagos will attain that stability that we are trying to attain in the electricity sector.
It will benefit everyone, it will benefit Lagosians, you know. More investors will come in, more companies will come in, and the state will also generate more revenue.
Observers believe that through the electricity law, Lagos State is bound to be positioned as a leader in the electricity market in line with the State Smart City initiative.
I just hope that the citizens too can compel to it, and if they actually work on it very well, that there is steady light, there's no problem about it.
They happen to bring their own. They know the number of people lives in Lagos, and they know the strategy, where to place, where to keep people, so that people will belongs to where they want to put them.
Part of the benefits of the electricity market is healthy competition, but there are concerns about affordable billing system and consumer protection.
People will not be buying for like before, no more owning of gen like before as usual, and there'll be more light for people that sells provision for their fridge, so they will have like cold water, table water and Pepsi, everything, so they can buy. I think that is first effect for me.
It is expected that with the state-owned electricity market, more jobs will be created in the electricity value chain, and states will contribute meaningfully to the GDP of the country. For Dateline 360, Ometere Chiedu.
There must be competition, but it must be healthy. This is true. Thank you, Chiedu. And from Lagos, we move to Enugu State, where Susan Eze has a progress report on the establishment of the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission. Based on the provisions of the Electricity Act 2023, Enugu State took the lead in obtaining authority from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, to commence the development of a subnational electricity market to meet the power needs of the states and even our environs.
With a power need of over 500 megawatts of electricity, Enugu currently receives about 70 megawatts from the national grid, which stakeholders say is grossly inadequate.
In 2023, the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission was set up. Consequently, in April 2024, the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, empowered EERC to oversee the regulation of electricity in Enugu State.
Barely 3 months in operation, the Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission has issued licenses to some independent power companies. An EEDC subsidiary set up to take over electricity operations of EEDC in Enugu State. Another company with a capacity to generate 10 megawatts with other interests still being processed.
Now, the interim license that we have issued them is valid for a period of 6 months, so that they could put their acts together, assess what their operations would be, determine what their capacity and business plan of growing the electricity business in Enugu would also be, and how much it will cost them before applying to us for a tariff. And I'm glad to say that by the 31st of December 2024, we received their tariff application, which is currently being reviewed.
With over 125 communities in the state still underserved or unserved with power, the target of the state power policy, according to the chairman of EERC, is to reach 700 megawatts by 2030. The process, which will happen in phases, is streamlined across the value chain as well as the tariff and metering processes.
As long as the meters have been certified and you can guarantee its durability.
Overall, it is more efficient. It is also more transparent and accountable. All these things make it so much more desirable than having just one Regulatory Commission.
While modalities are being set up and activities gather momentum for the takeoff of an independent power sector, the state is still under the national grid and tariff.
Independent power producers are emerging as pivotal players, spearheading a paradigm shift from the mode of power production. And as such, residents of Enugu State are looking forward to a brighter future across the horizon.
In Enugu, Susan Eze for Dateline 360.
In Ondo State, this landmark reform paves the way for localized electricity market development, potentially enhancing energy access, fostering competition, and driving economic growth within the state. Batire has been following this up and examines the benefits, challenges, and prospects of this transformative initiative, while also shedding light on its implications for sustainable development and energy security.
With the implementation of the Act, 7 states including Ondo, Edo, Enugu, Ekiti, Imo, Oyo, and Lagos have been granted regulatory autonomy over their electricity market. Investigation reveals that the purpose of the reform is to create a competitive edge as state government will be at liberty to implement the best investment policies to attract investors into the electricity market in their state, as well as the end-user tariff methodology applicable in the state will be determined by the SEC. Ondo State officially assumed control of its electricity market from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, on October 22, 2024, marking a significant step towards energy independence and improved local governance.
The electricity supply in Ondo State has greatly improved. To make money available in the industry, the collection rate of the DISCO must be high. And that was why we started with the metering infrastructure. And because of that, their collection has increased. And because their collection has increased through the use of metering infrastructure, their supply has also increased. We have communities that before now, their transformers, their lines are not good. But because of this oversight given to us, we have been able to talk to our licensee, the BEDC, Electricity Ondo Limited, and they are so proactive now.
Stakeholders observed that the transfer of regulatory oversight is gradually driving economic growth in Ondo State.
To now have a situation where there will be effective control so that in each of the states it will increase the power supply. And when this one increases the power supply, it will increase the functioning of the industries.
When it was in the national level, when you even make complaint, you won't hear. BEDC will not even show up. But now that the commission regulating them is around, I feel they are going to brace up.
They, however, acknowledge that the initiative, like any major reform, comes with its own set of challenges and opportunities.
Our prospect is to make electricity available for all with at an affordable rate.
To ensure the success of this regulatory shift, stakeholders urge the federal government to provide additional support to state commissions, emphasizing their crucial role in enhancing economic development. In Akure, Toyin Batire reporting for Dateline 360.
Since Ogun State joined the League of States that generate, transmit, and regulate electricity, residents, especially artisans, are optimistic of better days ahead in terms of electricity power supply. This step, no doubt, will also boost the state's internally generated revenue, while also stimulating wealth creation and employment generation. The general multiplier effects of this policy on the state's economy is captured in this next package by Hakim Jimo.
The deregulation of electricity supply in accordance with the 2023 Electricity Act as amended abrogates the generation, transmission, and regulation of power to state governments. On the 30th of December 2024, Ogun State government took advantage of the policy and joined the League of States to market electricity supply. This step is for efficiency and reliability in the power sector in Ogun State.
It's going to eventually increase capacity for our industrial hub. Even when you come down to the micro, you are also going to see an improvement in the number of people.
The economy is going to improve individually, even for corporate organization, even for Ogun State as a state too.
For residents of Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the potential of the policy includes economic growth through improved internally generated revenue, creation of employment opportunities and wealth, while also revitalizing crumbling businesses.
All of them at the end of the day cumulatively will add to the state's IGR, because whatever the state does to stimulate economic growth invariably comes back, maybe as taxes, as rates.
With the birth of Ogun State Electricity Regulatory Corporation, the hope of artisans, majority of whom rely mainly on electricity supply to earn a daily living, is rekindled.
That would be very great, because that is a good idea. If Ogun State government can do that for us, we'll be so glad and happy.
The state should be ready to battle with energy theft, which often is seen as a counterproductive issues.
On the provision of the needed ultra-modern infrastructure, Ogun State government believes that public-private partnership initiative is the way to go.
We have begun to receive expression of partnership with others who are now going to partner with us in generating electricity, distributing electricity, and also transmission. So you will see us now realizing our Light Up Ogun project, which will allow us to provide uninterrupted power supply in our major towns and cities.
What then is the level of availability of technical expertise that will grab the available job opportunities?
I don't think we are lacking expertise in any sector. Even areas where they seem critical, we are doing a lot of knowledge transfer.
Nigerians are highly cerebral and intelligent. We have a lot of engineers that are, doing very well.
Since it is business and it's going to be managed as such, then whatever revenue they will be generating should be of immense assistance to put up the infrastructure and also get partnership.
Residents want enhanced customer service relations, which is critical in improving the implementation of the policy. Whether the newly bettered Ogun State Electricity Regulation Corporation will actually boost the economy of the state, only time will tell. In Abeokuta, Hakeem Jimo, reporting for Dateline 360.
Barely 5 months after Edo State got official approval to regulate its electricity market, the customer base of private power generation companies like the Osiomo power plant has tripled. Obehi Otoba Presai reports that key players believe that multiple power providers is a catalyst for healthy market competition that ensures better service delivery.
Guaranteed 24 hours power supply on a daily basis may sound like a tall tale for some electricity consumers in Nigeria, but power generation companies like the Osiomo private power plant in Benin has enhanced efficiency amongst customers from state and federal government establishments to major hospitals and large commercial establishments. The viability of the Edo State electricity market has also encouraged new establishments to spring up, thereby creating more jobs.
You can't rely on the existing disco to operate the new Edo of today. All right. Today we have about 2 generating companies in Edo. Though they are generating for the national grid, we can still have more.
Government should be able to obtain, enhanced revenue if the activities of the independent power plants are boosted, supported, the enabling environment is provided, and then high network consumers key into the independent power plant supply.
Apart from contributing to the state's internally generated revenue, the electricity market has led to reduced power outages, especially for those who have the option of switching between either the private power plant or the Benin Electricity Distribution Company.
Since Osyomo came, to be precise, the light is more or less 247. It runs 24 hours, very regular, very frequent. But even if they must interrupt the light at all, they will certainly take permission through the phone. They will send messages to everybody.
4 years after its inauguration, the Osyomo private power plant carries out periodic upgrade and attestation of its financial sustainability. NTA News crew has been given a guided tour around the facility at the Osyomo power plant, and in attestation to the fact that the power generating company is actually receiving an increased number of third-party consumers, it is currently preparing an upgrade in its facility.
The unique part of this is that this is not generating at 400 volts. This generates exactly at 11,000 volts.
The prepaid metering system the Edo electricity market operates also ensures minimal commercial losses. It is worthy to note that the Edo State electricity market has not only benefited the elite. Rural communities where these private power plants are sited have also experienced rapid development. This is as a result of the improved power supply they get from these private power plants. For Dateline 360, Obehi Otobo Apresai.
And that's good news for the rural communities, Obehi, as this will definitely catapult them to greater economic and commercial heights. And this is Dateline 360 for this week. Join us next time as we examine another interesting issue that bothers you and I. On behalf of the production crew, thanks for being a part of it. God bless Nigeria.